Hey there, I'm professional psychic Karen Marie, and this is Psyched Up for Sunday, July 17th, 2022. Thank you for tuning in and spending your valuable time with me. Also, thank you to all my new subscribers. I've had over 40 new subscribers in the last week. That's the most I've had in any one week since I started this channel in March of 2020. So keep it up. My professional psychic business has been built for 34 years. I've been doing professional psychic readings since 1988 here in Austin, Texas, primarily through word of mouth and referrals is how I've built my business over time. And so I think that's the best way to get new clients and to have new subscribers is for those of you to share it with your friends. So gratefully appreciate those of you who are doing that. And if you're not, please share with your friends and loved ones this video. Just send it. It doesn't take long to copy the link and send it. It means the world to me. I just really want to put that out there. Exciting little growth of my baby YouTube channel here. Also to let you know that I put a daily less than 1 minute video up here on the YouTube, on both of my professional and personal Facebook pages, my Instagram and TikTok. I've got the data for that below. So check those out too. I look at whatever the transits are for the day and talk about which ones are most prominent for the day. And then I draw a card for every day and talk about that. So check those out as well. So this week, as usual, I'll talk about the transits for the entire week. This is a powerful, potent week because Pluto is in play. So I have labeled this week power struggles and surprises. And then at the end of the video, I will be doing mini readings for all 12 signs. Check out your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, and if you have a stellium, which means 3 or more planets in a sign, check that out as well. I'll put the timestamps below so you can go to the ones that are appropriate to you. Of course, we all have all 12 signs in our astrology chart. You may not have any planets in a sign, but you'll have a sign ruling a particular house in your astrology chart. So if you know about your astrology houses, then you can listen to all 12 of the videos and apply them to the area of your life where that sign is ruling that house in your chart. If you don't, take what you like, leave the rest is what I say with that. Okay, so I'm going to dive in, starting with the transit. So right now we have the sun at 25 degrees of Cancer. So we've had several weeks now of the sun moving through Cancer. Cancer themes. Cancer rules the 4th house in astrology, which is the house of home. It's our childhood home, our family home. It's our home now. It's the mother energy. It's the nurturing, how we feel safe and secure in the world. So as the sun transits Cancer, really any planet that's transiting Cancer, we can have childhood memories bubble up. So if you've had flashbacks from childhood coming up over the last several weeks, or had issues come up with your mother or as a mother, you can thank the Cancer sun for that. Anything that comes up to our conscious awareness is meant for us to see, heal, and release, old debris, because I believe we're all healing and shifting and growing, evolving. So if we take what comes up in our lives and shift it as it arises, then we can clear out karma as we're moving on along. So, but Cancer themes, we can be actually extra emotionally sensitive when planets are moving through Cancer. We can be extra psychically sensitive as well, picking up on hits from other people, having vivid dreams. Cancer's the crab, right? It moves sideways. So we can also not want to deal with emotional stuff that comes up. It's like, oh, can I just go hide, duck and cover as a Cancer energetic? We can want to nest and just take care of our home and do things around our home to make our home feel more comfortable. Issues of emotional honesty can come up in our relationships, and we can have deeply emotional conversations. Cancer is a cardinal water sign, so it's an initiating energy. So it's like crashing waves is the Cancer energy. It can be very powerful. The power of water on a rock over time will just wear things away. So it can be very intensive. And with the since it's a initiating energy, a cardinal signs initiate things. So you may have wanted to get new things started with the sun moving through Cancer. We also have had the last couple of days Mercury conjunct, which means together within the skies, the sun. So Mercury is the planet that represents our thoughts and our communications with others. So together, the sun is illuminating our thoughts and our communications. So again, these emotional sensitivity, we could have emotionally deep conversations going on over the last couple of days. We could have some insights into our thinking. We can have some insights into childhood programming and how that may be running the show. So that's a very powerful transit we've been dealing with for the last couple of days. Today, we also have the Sun and Mercury combo. Mercury has just moved to 26 degrees since this morning, but they're still right there together. They're trining, which is a positive connection with Neptune, which is at 25 degrees of Pisces, and it's retrograde. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. On a positive end of things, which a trine will pull out the positives of each sign. It's a psychic and spiritual connection. It's getting psychic and spiritual realizations, downloads, insights. We could be having, since Mercury is involved in this trine, really great deep level spiritual conversations with others. We could be like tuning in and like reading things that are spiritually uplifting or insightful. This is a beautiful energy. Also today, the moon is in Pisces, will be crossing over Neptune. Before it does that, it'll cross over Juno. Juno is an asteroid that represents the good wife. It represents a committed partnership. So there also could be this beautiful sort of kiss in committed relationships if you're in one, or just getting hits about potential life partners, getting insights around that. Because it's sitting there in Pisces. So the moon will cross over Juno and it'll cross over Neptune. So it will be in a trine with the sun and the moon. So this is a beautiful harmonic day. It should be really lovely today. So hopefully you've been taking part in that energy of like spiritual, psychic realizations and great conversations and things that are uplifting, this beautiful harmonious energy. It'll give us some gas in our tank, get us all sort of filled up and with the feel goods today. So hopefully you've been able to enjoy this. If you're watching this after the fact, track back to what your weekend looked like. Saturday and Sunday is when Mercury and the sun have been conjunct. And then today on Sunday is the trine with Neptune. Neptune, anything interacting with Neptune in a positive way could be beautiful illusion. So also things can come up in our lives that feel like they're too good to be true. And they actually may be true with the trine. You know, when there's a square or an opposition, it could be, yeah, that's too good to be true. So watch out. With a trine, it's like, oh no, this could be like too good to be true. And it's great. It's wonderful. So you can let me know if something like that came up in your life. Also today we have Mars, the planet of war and how we take action and put energy into things. Mars is at 8 degrees of Taurus right now. It's in a semi-sextile with Jupiter, which is at 8 degrees of Aries. This is like a harmonic, but they're vibing well together. Jupiter brings good luck. It brings benefits. It makes things bigger. So it can make the energy to put into things like whatever actions that you take today could just be like really powerful and have even more impact than usual. So this is a really lovely energy too. Jupiter in Aries, let me just talk about that a minute, because Aries is the baby of the zodiac. It's the first sign of the zodiac. So Jupiter has still in the first decan of Aries. It's starting a new 12-year cycle as it's moving through Aries, right? So starting new things, bringing good luck, good energy. One thing about Jupiter in Aries, Aries can be self-involved, selfish, think only about themselves. They can be very impulsive. So Jupiter can make these energies of Aries bigger too. So you could combine these two things with the god of war and egomania, and it could be like, ooh, someone could be super intensive and make you want to go backpedal away from them too. Especially if they have planets or aspects that are conjunct Jupiter or Mars right now, and these 8 degree points, it could be activating someone to sort of feel holier than thou, sort of like, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I don't need to dive too much more into that, I don't think. Okay, so is there anything else going on today that I need to talk about? I don't think so. All right, so then tomorrow on Monday, we'll have Venus. Right now, Venus is at the very last degree of Gemini. Venus is a planet that represents our love, our relationships, what we love, who we love, how we receive energy. It's also our money and our finances. And so Venus at this last degree point of Gemini, moving through Gemini, Venus doesn't feel very comfortable in Gemini. It's rules the head. It's kind of like you could be thinking too much about this kind of thing, too much mental activity. Gemini's the twins, batting things back and forth. So when Venus moves into Cancer, which she'll do by tomorrow, she's more at home in Cancer. It's like, ooh, okay. She likes to like all the feels, all the pleasure, the creature comforts. You know, Venus is wanting to like, again, get the extra pillows to make life extra cushiony and safe. One thing that'll be interesting when Venus crosses over into Cancer, the 0 degree point, which is the first degree of Cancer, is on the world axis. So the world axis is at 0 degrees of all the cardinal signs. So 0 degrees of Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. So if you have planets or points on or near these, you have personal planet on the world axis. So anything that's on the world axis can indicate a mission for the whole globe, a mission for the whole planet. So there could be something beneficial that comes to light over the next 24 hours that's affecting everybody on the globe in a positive way. There could be financial news that's good, or relationship, you know, someone on the world stage that is prominent, that is Venus is also women in our lives. So there could be a powerful female that comes to the headlines in the next 24 hours. You know, just, you know, astrology is not predictive as much as it is sort of laying the background, like, ooh, conditions are right. It's kind of like when conditions are right for tornadoes, you want to watch out when conditions are right for certain things. So this is, you know, just an interesting little side note as Venus moves into Cancer. Also, anything at 0 degree points of any of the signs can feel weird and strange. When a planet changes signs, there's a definite shift of the energy. Venus in Gemini, like I said, can have us up in our heads, and then Venus moving into Cancer has us in our feels, right? So that's a different shift. So you can, you know, again, the emotionality of the Cancer, we can really have more emotional connections going on in our relationships. We can feel more emotional about our money too, and finances. That's not as great of a, you know, although we could be crying buckets around financial stuff too, you know, just because we're extra sensitive. So if you're feeling extra sensitive, you're crying for no reason, it's because of all these planets going on in Cancer. The moon right now is in Pisces, like I said, and then moving into Aries later tomorrow at some point. I don't know the exact time right now. So the moon in Aries, again, it's like, woo, energy is powerful, makes us want to just go, 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 be social. Again, we could be extra impulsive. So one of the first aspects, we have a double whammy with Pluto going on. Now, Pluto is retrograde right now. It's 27 degrees of Capricorn. I've been talking about Pluto extensively in these videos if you've been watching. So you should, if you've been watching me, you should be schooled on Pluto right now. Pluto is death and transformation. In Capricorn, it's really about power and control issues and where we've given our power away. Pluto is excavation. It's transformative. Whatever interacts with Pluto is going to be changed. Pluto is not playing. It's like a wrecking ball. When Pluto goes retrograde, as it is now, it really turns the energy more internal. It's like standing up for ourselves. We're being called to stand up for ourselves. When we're situations where we've given our power away to other people, places, and things can come to light to reclaim our power, right? So Mercury is opposite opposing Pluto tomorrow. So Mercury, the planet of our thoughts and communication, opposite Pluto. This can bring up power struggles in conversation. It can bring up internal power struggles with our own thoughts with ourselves, right? What are we giving our power away to within our own life? Like, are you giving your power away to alcohol or to food or relationships? Like, it can be a real internal stuff. And if we're out of balance with ourselves, this transit can be very intensive, right? Because it can really jack stuff loose. If you're willing to ride the tides and go with the flow and take whatever comes up into meditation and prayer to transform it, you're good to go, right? If you're trying to resist change, you're probably sick and overwhelmed, really, truthfully, like right now, because like we're going through such transformational changes. Everyone is, like, you don't get a choice in it. We came on to this planet, I think, to be here right now, as the earth is going through the most transformative times in centuries, really. So big, huge power dynamic. So again, we could see on the world stage conversations where there's power and control issues going off, very intensive. Let's see. All right, that's all I have for tomorrow, I think. The next day, we're going to have Sun. On Tuesday, the 19th, we'll have the Sun opposing Pluto. So this is a big, even bigger energy, because it's illumination of the sun. And again, as planets get to these later degree points, it's really activating and lessons that we are learning from the signs, right? Each sign, each planet has lessons to teach, right? So there's a coming to a head of the lessons of Cancer. Have you transformed Pluto, your childhood programming, Cancer, the sun in Cancer? Have you transformed how you can communicate, Mercury, your feelings and in conversations? Can you have a dialogue and talk about your feelings? These things will be coming up this week. And again, power plays, people who want to have power and control over people, governments, power and control issues. I just feels like it's going to be ratcheted up over this next couple of days. Really intensive energy with the Pluto. Like, Pluto is, you know, it's the Lord of the underworld too. So secrets can come up and be revealed when Pluto is being, you know, especially with the sun illuminating and Pluto there on the other side, it can really be more secrets can come to light in your own personal life, but again, on the world stage. Also powerfully happening on Tuesday when the sun is opposing Pluto, we have Uranus, which is at 18 degrees of Taurus, conjunct the North Node. So the North Node is our collective destiny. It's where we're all on the planet in class together and we're learning. And so Uranus is the great awakener. It's the ruler of Aquarius. If you know any Aquarians, you know you can't predict what they're going to be doing next. They're the mavericks. They want things, you know, they want to be free. It's an air sign. It's a fixed air sign. It's very intensive. So Uranus in the North Node is guaranteeing sudden unexpected world events, sudden unexpected things happening in your life. This is a very, very powerful energy. So to have the sun opposing Pluto on the same day the North Node conjunct Uranus, and the North Node and Uranus are going to stay conjunct for a while. Uranus is going to stay at 18 degrees until October. So it's parking it at this part of your chart. Wherever you have 18 degrees in your chart, if you have any planets or points at 18 degrees of Taurus, you're going to be feeling this really personally. So this is an intensive energy. Sudden, unexpected things are going to be the name of the game for this week into next week. And then Mars is going to be conjunct next week at starting on the 30th of July into the 1st and 2nd of August. I'm just giving you a heads up of coming attractions. Mars, the god of war, is joining with Uranus and the North Node. So this can be super volatile. Mars and Uranus coming together can be a signature for earthquakes and volcanoes, earth activities, especially because Uranus is in Taurus, which rules the earth, literally. So we can have dramatic earth events. So we're already slipping into this energy as Mars gets closer and closer to Uranus over these next couple of weeks. It's going to ratchet up until it comes to this head. Like, who knows what's going to be happening the last couple of days of July, the first couple of days of August. We could have like the earth change for all time. Like we could have seismic plates shift. It's that big of an energy, or something symbolically that big of a shift in your life, like earth shattering news, revelations, shifting paradigms within your own self. It's a collective destiny shift, because the North Node is involved. So it's like surprises. Let me say, I put some notes about this. It's an activation point. So wherever this is in your chart, so we all have, even if you don't have planets in Taurus, we all have this point in our chart. So it's going to be ruling a particular house. So whatever house you've got Taurus is where you can expect some sudden unexpected things coming into your life this week. And again, if you want to dive deeper into your personal chart, you can always contact me for a personal reading. I've got my website and my email contact below. So you can reach out to me if you want to dive deeper into your personal chart to see how this will be affecting you directly. But and Uranus can catapult us forward, right? It can be a big, huge, like you play the game of leapfrog or the old Star Trek where they go to warp speed and they just shift something. Like it can be really powerful shifts for all time. Like I said, destiny is a key word here when the North Node is involved. So what is your karmic destiny? What is our collective karmic destiny on the planet? So, so big time faded energy shifts is one of the notes I put. And get ready for a ride is another note I had. Like, this is going to be a week that can feel like a roller coaster ride. Like we're in, in all this beautiful, tranquil, harmonious, spiritual, psychic energy today. And then it's like you get in the roller coaster ride and then it's like, whoo, whoo, whoo. Can really feel like that this week. So make sure you're grounding yourself and tapping into your inner voice, before you go out in the world, before you turn on the news or pick up your phone. Really, really try to breathe and center yourself so that you're grounded and connected in with your own higher power, your own inner voice, your own inner wisdom, so you can get your own insights about how to navigate this gnarly week or these gnarly transits. They don't have to be gnarly. They can be like Uranus can bring sudden unexpected things that are positive. Like, wow, I didn't see that coming. And it can be positive. It doesn't have to be a negative thing, but you just don't know with Uranus. It's like the pitcher that you don't know what kind of ball they're going to throw because they throw curved balls and they whatever. Like Uranus likes to shake it up. So we're definitely all going to be kind of having something surprising happening in your personal lives and probably on the world stage and unexpected, right? Not something you would predict. Oh, it's going to happen this way. No, Uranus makes sure it happens a way that you didn't even think of. All right. And again, this is happening when the sun is opposing Pluto. So it's already all this transformation energy going on, and then that's going on. So Uranus and the North Node are going to be conjunct all the rest of the week, right? So this volatile, life-changing energy they're going to be together for a while, right? And then, like I said, Mars joins the party at the end of the month. So we start feeling the energy and then it just ratchets up. So we definitely are going for a ride here. Going to be interesting. The other thing that happens on Tuesday, if it's not powerful enough of a day, is Chiron, the wounded healer, which is at 16 degrees of Aries, is going retrograde. And again, to review, anytime a planet stations to turn forward, if it's already retrograde and it's moving to go forward, or if it's going forward and it stations to turn retrograde, its potency magnifies. So Chiron is the wounded healer. So Chiron was, rejected at birth. He was abandoned at birth. And then he was physically hurt later on. And then he was ostracized by society. So he's got all these wounding. He's got the emotional wound of abandonment. He's got the physical wounding. He's got the wounding of society. He's got all of it, right? Chiron in your birth chart is where you've experienced wounding over many, many lifetimes. And it's the place where you'll have that ouch place, the trigger point where you get triggered again and again and again. The glyph looks like a key. So once you heal the area in your birth chart where Chiron shows up, it becomes a place of great strength. Chiron was an alternative healer. He was the first alternative healer, right? So he was picking up other modalities of healing. So a lot of times when Chiron is activated, turning to the alternative healing forms, the ones not the medical doctors, the ones like going to get Reiki done, or a massage therapist that's a healer, or going to get acupuncture or chiropractic care, doing prayer work for healing, turning to herbs and your food for healing. Like this is all in the bag of tricks of Chiron. And so we may all want to kind of pick up the healing tools this week as Chiron turns retrograde. In Aries, it's really healing. Again, Aries is the baby, so it can be healing how we feel about ourselves in this mid-decan of Aries. It can be how we feel about our connections with other people. Do the people in our life love and approve and validate us, or do they not? Right? Do we feel like people are talking about us? Are we being ostracized by people in our lives or groups that we're connected to? Or do we feel like we belong? If we've been cast aside or shut out of a group, we may have these woundings come up for healing with the Chiron in this place in the chart. And it will go retrograde back to 11 degrees of Aries until December 23rd, and then it'll go forward again. So we got a retrograde period. Again, retrograde has us going within more. So a lot of internal, it's a great time to do some inner work about really feeling loved and supported by you and by the universe, and having that show up in our lives. Let's see what I put, any other notes. So also, not only can you heal where you felt maybe rejected by society or by people that you love in your life, where are you rejecting yourself? Where have you abandoned yourself? This is an opportunity to heal some of these things as well with this Chiron retrograde transit. Like I said, from Tuesday the 19th, it'll be retrograde until December 23rd. So we have lots of opportunity to have issues come up. And again, you can see when Chiron's involved, because it'll be this ouch, and it's a repetitive ouch. It's that place where, again, where we get triggered. So again, if you're paying attention and you notice that you get triggered, and instead of reacting, take that into quiet time, journaling, prayer, meditation, into it with a healer to specifically work on it, doing tapping. That's another alternative healing form to shift the woundedness. So it's an opportunity for healing that's super powerful. But coming in the midst of this powerful day with all this stuff, just expect to get triggered this week. Let me just say, and put it out there. And then when it happens, you won't be so rocked, right? You're ready for your stuff to come up, then you're great. All right, so the moon is in Aries for the first couple of days. All right, it'll cross over Eris. Eris is another asteroid that Eris was Aries' sister. So she was on the battlefield with Aries, not afraid to be on the front lines, lopping off people's heads, going after the gore, like just ready for battle. The myth is that all the gods and goddesses were invited to a wedding at Mount Olympus, except for Eris. And she wasn't having that. She showed up at the reception and turned everything upside down. It went cray cray. So Aries can represent standing up for ourselves, standing up for our rights, standing up and protesting. So Aries has been in a square with Pluto, death and transformation, for a while, for a couple of years now. Like we've had protests spilling out in the street, starting with the Black Lives Matter that really erupted over the last couple of years. Like Aries and Pluto have been doing this transformative thing of standing up for rights. as the moon crosses over Aries, and I see that happening on Wednesday. She'll cross over Aries and then square Pluto right after that. That again could be intensive. We could have this outpouring of people pouring into the streets, standing up for, like, there could be something that makes everybody want to spill out into the streets and stand up and protest. Not that there's already those things happening that people are protesting over, just saying. But it can really be ratcheted up this week because the moon, which highlights and activates planet as it moves over it. Like today, it's activating Neptune, beautiful energy. Activating Aries is another thing. It's kind of like kicking the dog when it bites you. So then the moon will move into Taurus. And then the next day, Aries goes retrograde on Thursday, the 21st. So again, her energy's ratcheting up this week. Could really be a volatile week, or you may feel the need to stand up for yourself. Again, taking your power back and standing up for yourself. Pluto, the power and control stuff. Aries saying, I ain't playing. Don't run over me. If you've been giving your power away, this is the great week to take it back. Just try to do it in a calm, rational way and not in bloody war and mayhem, as symbolically or in a real way. But because of this energy being really volatile, and because we're in this climate of craze going out and taking people out with mass shootings, this could be a week where we have a lot of mass shootings. Again, as the moon moves through Aries, can really stir up people with unresolved anger issues, and especially as it crosses over Aries. And again, I'll remind you that when Mars, the planet of war and the ruler of Aries, was at 29 degrees of Aries, was when January 6th happened. So the moon's going to be going over that point right after she's had a conjunction with Aries and a square with Pluto. So it could be really volatile Wednesday and Thursday. I mean, all this week could be volatile. Like things can come out of nowhere from all these different plans. I don't think there's any way to predict how this is going to show up, except that take notes and see what does show up this week, because it should be like a week for the record books. Let me just say that. And then she's going to be doing a dance with this Uranus North Node conjunction as well, as she moves across that later this week, right? So the moon's in Taurus, there's that energy. Okay, let me back up because I forgot to mention also on Tuesday, but wait, there's more. Mercury, the planet of communication, moves into Leo on Tuesday. So we have Uranus conjunct the North Node, Sun opposite Pluto, Mercury going into Leo, Chiron turning retrograde, all on the same day, on Tuesday. Like, any one of those transits can be to have them all on the same day. I feel like Tuesday could be a history-making day, just in your own personal life, for the life of the planet, anywhere on the planet. So the sun will move into Leo on Friday. So again, on Thursday is when it's at the 29-degree point where it can really be like emotions heightened. That's another thing that can add to the volatility of this week, is the sun being at this last degree point of emotions, being on full tilt boogie in this emotional sign before it goes into Leo. We're definitely going to feel the shift into Leo when the sun goes into Leo. And again, it's trailing behind Mercury, which is already there. So Mercury and the sun moving into Leo this week, it moves into another fire sign. Leo's about our heart, what we're passionate about. It's our childhood joys. It's romance. It's children. And so this activation and a shift of energy from the emotional sign of Cancer into the fire sign of Leo. And Leo is a fixed sign too, because it's intensive. It can come up really strong. And then we'll be having preview of coming attractions next week. On Thursday, the 28th, we'll have a new moon in Leo. New moon's when the sun and the moon are together in the skies, and it'll be at 5 degrees and 38 minutes of Leo at 12:54 p.m. in Austin, Texas time. So you might also want to be thinking in terms of what new things do you want to be starting with the new moon. It's always nice to launch something with the new moon. So, and that new moon is going to be conjunct my Mars, which is at 5 degrees of Leo. So that should be interesting, and trining my sun. So those kind of things is like, ooh, new moon that's activating in a personal way stuff for me. That's, just when you have a big aspect like that on a degree point in your natal chart, you can really feel it in a big way. So we should feel more social as the sun moves into Leo. Moon in Taurus, and then the volatility of the moon crossing over this Uranus North Node thing. Again, if the two of them together aren't enough, then the moon going over it will activate that. And then the moon will move into Gemini by the weekend. We'll also have a trine between Mercury and Jupiter. Like, this could be really lovely, powerful conversations, powerful shifts of your thinking. So, I think it helps wrap up the week in a way. And the moon in Gemini, we're going to be processing things a lot, like click, 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 click. Like ahas and realizations, I think, are going to really be coming in this week. And it may be like, oh, getting stirred up. And then by the weekend, we maybe wanted to journal or talk it over and process everything that's happened this week. Because I don't know, I'm feeling a very volatile week. It'll be really interesting to see what exactly shows up. Another thing that's interesting and has been happening for a while is the outer planets that move more slowly are all in this harmonic chord with each other. We've got Pluto at 27 degrees of Capricorn. We have Saturn, which is at 23 degrees. So they're semi-sextile. They're talking to each other. Then we have Neptune at 25 degrees. So Neptune and Pluto are in a sextile with each other. So they're communicating with each other. So these three outer planets all in this harmonic chord with each other. It's like, Neptune is wanting us to tap into our spiritual psychic connections, to get our downloads, to receive our direction. Saturn is wanting us to restructure, set up boundaries in our lives. And Pluto is wanting us to transform everything, right? So we're transforming an old power paradigm right now. Pluto goes into Aquarius for the first time next March of 2023. It'll bump up into Aquarius, then it'll go back into Capricorn some more. It'll back up into Aquarius again in 2024, back into Capricorn. And then by November of 2024, and it's after the elections, Pluto goes into Aquarius to stay for its all new cycle, because Pluto's been in Capricorn since 2008. So it gives you an idea of how long Pluto takes to transit a sign. So these power and control dynamics are ratcheting up, and we're getting a tease of, as Pluto moves into Aquarius, this is the sign that is humanity, two wavy lines vibing together, where everyone is important. We're all in, this unique. Uranus is also, as the ruler of Aquarius, it's about the future, something new being brought out that we haven't ever had on this planet before. And again, Pluto is transformative. So we're going to be bringing in these new energies, and this old paradigm of the good old boys network and the one with the most money and the white boy in the power that's been running the show since this since this country got started. That paradigm is going out the window. So these power and control issues are ratcheting up, like all these things that we're seeing in our government, power and control struggles, going back to sort of old school paradigms, like the way the Supreme Court's been voting. I see this as just a temporary thing, that once Pluto goes into Aquarius, the laws are going to be where everybody's important, not one small sector of society making the rules for everybody else or controlling everybody else. So it's like Custer's last stand. Power control issues are going to be the theme for the next couple of years. So where in your life do you need to have power, right? Where have you given your power over? And grabbing that back so that we're empowering our own lives. I say this every week, or I try to. Everyone is psychic. We all have psychic abilities. Everyone has an inner voice and intuition It's the voice of the higher self, the Buddha nature, your Christ self, divine self, higher self, the connection to the universe, the part of our soul that carries on after we put the ego and the body down. Our intuition is the voice of that higher self. So when we listen to and follow our intuition, we're going to be on the best path for our lives. And when you're listening to and following your intuition, even in volatile times, there'll be a flow, there'll be a synchronicity. Things will just kind of click together like the shuffling of a cards. Conversely, if you're not listening to your intuition, if you're going with logical, rational mind of what you're told to do and what you should do and what, then you could pull yourself off track. It could be logical and rational as it can come, a decision or a direction. It can make all the sense in the world. If it doesn't sit right with your gut, it's not right. The right choices for your life will also, the mind, it's like the mind needs to be the co-pilot to the intuition. The intuition is the pilot, the director force. And when you're on the right track, the mind will go, yeah, okay, I can get behind that. Whereas if the mind tries to figure it out and control the way, it's like a mini computer. It's just been programmed. And so it can pull us right off track, even if it makes all the sense in the world. So adjusting, that's one of the other things that the Aquarian energy is bringing in, the age of Aquarius that we're heading into, is where we're listening to our higher selves. We're letting our own spiritual, intuitive voices run the show and direct our actions. So hopefully those of us that are awake and conscious are doing that. If you're watching this, I'm going to count you in that group that you're endeavoring to listen to your own intuition. And that's what I do in my personal readings. I feel like I hold a bigger mirror up to validate your intuition, to help you see where you're aligned with yourself and where you're not. It's way more about getting clear. Readings are way more about getting clear in this present moment and sorting through all the pieces that are going on right now than they are about predicting the future. I do look towards the trajectory where you're headed in readings, but that is not set in concrete. The future is never set in concrete. We create the future by what we're doing today. If we're caught up in the past, regurgitating, replaying it over and over and over again, we're going to keep experiencing what we've already experienced. We want a different trajectory and creating a different experience in our lives. We do that shifting now to set different causes so that we have a different experience of our future. So that can be exciting. So exciting week. It's definitely going to be like a roller coaster ride is what I got. Opportunity for healing with Chiron retrograde, transformation with Pluto in play, and sudden unexpected events are be the theme for the week. Okay. So now I'm going to move into doing readings for all 12 signs. We'll start with Aries. I'm going to take a little drink here. We'll start with the Aries. I want to talk with each of the signs a little bit about the positives and the negatives of each sign as I'm shuffling as well. So Aries positives, passionate, fiery. Aries can be a bonfire. Other people can want to warm up to the fire. Other people can get burned if they get too close to the fire. Aries can be impulsive. They can be selfish and childlike. They can also be innocent and explorative. They can be the pioneer. They can go be the first to do something. All right, let's see what is on tap for the Aries for this week. Aries is a cardinal sign too, so it's an initiating spark. It can get things going. Aries can also have a difficulty following through after they've gotten something started. Classic for Aries to start something and not finish it, unless they have other planets or signs that can, if they have some earth signs that can work hard and get her done, then it's not a problem. I have 3 planets, my sun, my moon, and my Mercury are all in Aries. So I've had to really work on not just initiating things, but following through and keeping things going and being consistent over time. I've gotten much better about it over the years. All right, what do the Aries need to know this week? appropriately enough, I've drawn the transformation card. So you're in rhythm. I've talked a lot about transformation already with the Pluto energy, but the transformation is this is the Phoenix rising energy, when something has to die to be transformed into something new. So you have to let go of something. Something needs to shift and change, to drop it, to stop doing it, to make a big shift, to do something differently. Like you're working on transforming something in a very powerful way from the inside out. You could have dreams that are transformative. This person looks like they're sleeping. Your angels and guides can be working with you. When you sleep, you can wake up feeling like, where did I just go? Because you've been doing some journeying or having your guides work with you in your sleep. But again, the Phoenix rising, the Phoenix catches on fire, right? So it can be like intensive. Again, if you breathe through it and you welcome transformation, if you're welcoming change, if you're not holding on to something, if you're willing to let go and be changed by the divine, that's the best attitude to take, because you're like, okay, let's get her done, right? The way I look at it is like, the more stuff I get done in this lifetime, the less karmic baggage I carry into the next lifetime. Like I want next lifetime to look completely different from the start than this one. Maybe even on a planet that has some higher vibrations and not all this war and intensive energy that this plane has. There's the yin yang sign in one of the hands here. Like there's lots of hands in this, so it could be doing lots of different things, lots of different tasks. If you be really busy this week and get a lot done, you can be doing work around your home, you can be doing a lot of journaling, having great conversations with others, getting out in the world and gardening, or whatever you're doing for your work life, just be having a shift. Like this is like in every area of your life is what I'm getting. But the yin yang is definitely balancing out the dark and the light within. We all have fundamental darkness. We all have the divine light within. We have, and are you letting the dark side win? Are you letting the light side win? How do you let the light side win? By actively spending time cultivating your connection with your light self, i.e. meditation, prayer, breath work, spiritual connection, anything that raises your vibration, raises your consciousness level. Dive into that this week. Very, very important. That realizations, aha moments. You may want to go fight for something this week. He's got a snake in his hand too. Snakes are also symbols of transformation and change. Shedding of a skin, shedding of something old, and embracing something completely new. There could be someone new that comes into your life that just blows things into a new stratosphere. That can be super exciting. It can be, like I said, just on a spiritual internal level where you may be the only one who notices it because there's something shifting within. You may have huge realizations, aha moments this week. So that feels very much in rhythm with the planetary transits this week. Seems exciting, seems productive, and deeply satisfying is what I'm getting for the Aries. Okay, go on to the Tauruses. Tauruses is an earth sign. It's a fixed sign, so they don't like change. Taurus, y'all don't like change. Like to know what the plan is. Tauruses love their clothing, their food, their environment. They want to know. They work hard at things. Tauruses can be super stubborn. Like you can't, once they make up their mind, they can just get really, those bull horns can come out, and like you don't want to tussle with the Taurus who's dug their heels in, but they will do what they say they're going to do. Tauruses will get things done. They work hard, right? So if they say they're going to do something, they will do it. Usually Taurus's homes are beautiful too. They can be really great at manifesting, since it's the second house, which also rules finances and money. So Tauruses can all be about the money too. And like, they like the finer things. Very often you will find Tauruses with the nicest clothes and the nicest cars and the nicest houses. So it might be a difficult week for the Tauruses since you don't like change. This week's all about change. I've gotten the Rebel card for you guys. This is also like grabbing your power and making some forward motion. The Rebel is not someone who's just being rebellious to be, an impulsive teenager. The Rebel is breaking through chains that shouldn't be there in the first place, right? Like this, don't hold me back. I need to do this. So you may be breaking through chains that you've placed on yourself. You may be breaking through boundaries that someone else says, no, you can't do that. And you may be going, watch me. It's illuminated shifting and changing. He's got the light in his hand. So he's been inspired to make this change. So you could get some downloads about how to take action and the best way to go approach something. You may be shining the light. Tauruses can be shy. They can take a while to get to know and warm up to people. But this is like, I'm going to do me, get out of my way. So you may want to spend a lot of time doing your own thing. I'm seeing all these beautiful colors too. So it feels like there's a really powerful creative energy going on this week for Tauruses. You may want to paint or do music or do some other creative project, maybe something you're building with your hands. I also see the rainbow colors in the hair. So this could be standing up for LGBTQ rights or, coming out. If you're a Taurus that are inclined in that way, that you may feel like this is the week I'm going to come out. I'm going to tell somebody who I really am, show my true colors to somebody. Even if you're not LGBTQ, you may just feel like you need to see who I really am. You've got me all wrong. I also see this bird as like, you've got guidance, you've got your guides there, you've got energy of supportive, like, I feel like you're getting strong intuitive hits about how to take action, like really strong this week, to point where you may actually literally hear guidance, or you may hear someone confirming what you've already been thinking. It may come out of someone else's mouth, or you may just happen across it over your phone or the computer that you're like, oh, that's what I was just thinking. That's a confirmation. I feel empowered change is happening for you guys this week. You don't like change, but when you're initiating the change, it's better. You don't like it thrust upon you. So this feels like it's change that you're initiating this week. So you're better with that than the incoming, like from out of nowhere. So it's kind of like be the change is what it looks like this week for the Tauruses. All right, we'll go to the Geminis, air sign, the twins, right? Jekyll Hyde energy is one of the downsides of the Gemini. You don't know who's going to show up, Jekyll or Hyde. Two different heads, the logical, rational mind and the intuitive mind, fighting for power. Geminis are ruled by Mercury, so they can be up there in their head, batting back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Really creative folks can be Gemini. I see a lot of writers, inventors, engineers, artists, musicians with the Gemini energy, that creative brain. But you can get stuck in that creative brain and be batting stuff back and forth, and be an air sign, kind of leave your body and be having difficulty sometimes in having traction and moving forward in your life. Again, this is just sun sign. Other things in your chart can temper that. But it's a mutable sign. So it's usually easygoing. It can be flexible. It likes to change. It doesn't like to do the same thing the same way twice. Geminis can get bored quicker than any other sign. Like they're not engaged intellectually. Like your relationships have to be intellectually stimulating, or you can't do them. That's just it. Boredom is death for the Gemini, usually. All right, let's see what's on tap for you guys this week. The turning in card. This is your psychic voice turned up loud, turning in to be able to hear your own inner voice. It's one of my favorite psychic cards, indicating there's very strong, see that I think the blue light coming to the head is like channeled information coming in. These waters is just about making sure that you're spending time getting quiet so you can receive the energy, which is more challenging for the Geminis than mine. Like you can like disconnect and like thinking, thank you for sharing, and just try to drop into the pool of quiet. It is more challenging for Geminis to meditate because of the mental activity, but it's so powerful when you can disconnect from the mind and tap into the higher spiritual energy. There's these beautiful flowers on the robe here. So it just feels like there could be gifts of flowers or something flowering in your life, a project maybe that you're starting that's blooming and blossoming. The hands here are open and receptive to receiving downloads from spirit, downloads direction. The blue energy to me is a call to water, soaking in the tub, standing in the shower more, going to the ocean, lake, swimming pool. It just feels like the water energy is really important. There's also sort of the nagging energy of other people, other things. It's like, it feels like there's what other people have said is like, kind of wash all that away and try to just receive what's important to you. What other people think of what you're doing, none of your business, right? Other people's opinions of you, not your problem, their problem. So it's like, it feels like there's a need to disconnect from the people around them, not in terms of being cold or callous, but especially if there's toxic energy or people trying to tell you what to do, or giving you their opinion that you didn't ask for. It's like, it's all right, thank you for sharing. You don't have to react. Like this person's not reacting to any of this energy that's coming at them. They're still and peaceful and calm and serene. I mean, meditation rocks, and this person is locked up, and because they have quieted the mind, they can receive some powerful downloads from spirit, get some great insights, great inner direction. So it feels like that there's some powerful tranquility happening in the midst of all this. Again, Geminis like the exciting. So if this week with all the exciting shifting things, you may find your center in the middle of all of this, like, yeah, bring it, like watching and being really centered. This feels like the eye of the storm energy this week. So it feels like you're making it through this week pretty unscathed and with some clear direction coming in. Like your job is if it's not about you, don't engage, right? Like if you feel called to take action, that's one thing. But to me, it feels like a very internal week for the Geminis, more about you centering yourself, you feeling, tapping into peace and joy and tranquility, and like really tapping to the reservoir of this beautiful spiritual energy that you can be a part of this bigger matrix, not what the 3D and whatever's going on this planet, but to be tapping into a higher, bigger, deeper, more powerful reservoir of spiritual energy this week for the Geminis. All right, we'll go to the Cancers. Cardinal water sign, initiating water. It's the crashing waves. Again, I talked a lot about the Cancer energy at the top of this video because the sun has been moving through Cancer. Emotionally sensitive, the mothers, the nurturers, the healers. Cancers often want to heal and feed everybody to their own detriment. They will often put everyone else's needs before their own. So that can be a real downside. And they can be like emotionally sensitive to the point where other people are rolling their eyes. Really? Like you could feel like your feelings get hurt at every turn being a Cancer. You've got that protective shell with the pinchers on it. So you can learn to be protective. Setting up boundaries is real important for the Cancers, but being upfront about your boundaries and clear about your communications is usually a weak spot for Cancers, unless you have other planets or points that can add to the strength. That's usually something you have to work on to be able to communicate how you feel. You usually know how you're feeling. You're usually all about the feels. So many healers are Cancers, and people who choose to be like stay-at-home moms or chefs, cooks, people who want to nurture, heal, help take care of people, doctors and such can be Cancers. So let's see what the Cancers have on tap for this week. The ordinariness card. This feels like peaceful, calm. It's like get outside. Like a lot of times, I've heard God, God, meaning go outside, darling. Like, connect with the divine that's in nature. This is someone who's just really enjoying their daily groove. They're out there picking the flowers, the fruits of the field. Um, Peaceful. Like it feels like it's a peaceful week. And you may be peaceful if you're disengaging from the world. Like you may need alone time and solace this week. Um, and the ordinariness card too could be sort of some just self-esteem issues. Like maybe it could be twisted in a negative way where you feel like you're not good enough. Oh, I'm just plain, I'm just ordinary. No, this is like savoring the beauty in each and every day and savoring what you do have to offer the world, and um, working on believing in yourself and validating your own what's important to you. Like you may be having to advocate for yourself this week, and do something alone that maybe not in your comfort zone to do, but feels really right and sets up something. I'm just getting that, like taking action and doing something alone, like it feels like it'd be maybe something you haven't done before, to advocate for yourself or to stand up for yourself. And you may have to like disengage from some people in your life to go do it. It's like, okay, I need to take care of self-care. I need to take care of myself. I can't do this for you right now. You might have to say no to people, set boundaries this week. Like I said, just like what brings you joy? What can you just enjoy the simplicity of the day? Something in nature, good food, your beautiful home. Um, I think it's interesting that hat is on this person too, because it feels like too they want to duck and cover. Like again, you may want to hide in that shell this week, and just sort of like nurture you. Like it's okay not to go out in the world if you don't feel it. Like sometimes it's just too peoply out there, little cancers. It's just you're like, no, I don't have it. I just need to nurture and fortify yourself. Totally okay, just to be feeling good about your daily groove. And I like to twist, like when I'm doing household chores, I spin that in my head. I'm being a domestic goddess, right? So it's like making the most of your ordinary day and really enjoying your life, being grateful for life, for your breath, for your physical body, like just the little things, and just being able to just see some little magical things just in the ordinariness of your day. All right, that's what I get for the cancers. All right, we'll go to the Leos. Fire sign, fixed fire. Fixed fire can burn you. Fixed fire. Leos love the stage. They love to get attention. They can be very egocentristic, right? It's all about me. Look at me, look at me. They can dominate conversations, can kind of power over people because they can be a big old ball of fire and not temperate for the people around them. Not that you have to, you can be your full-blown self. But Leos, they have to feel passion in order to put energy towards it. Can't do it if you don't feel passionate towards it. You cannot talk a Leo into something. They have to feel passionate towards it, right? So it's creativity. Leos are super creative. They can be super romantic as well. Don't argue with Leos though, because they want to win the argument. It's hard for them to concede that they're wrong. They may not be able to admit they're wrong very easily. Just saying. Again, these are generalistics. Other things in your chart can temper that. And I've drawn the Rebel card. So this is a breaking through energy. It's like taking your fire and going after something that you really want in your life. Breaking through limitations that other people may have tried to place on you. This is inspired action. He's carrying the torch. He's been inspired to break through. This card came up for the Tauruses as well. So you may want to go back and listen to what I said for the Tauruses, because I went a lot into that sign and what's going on in this card for that sign. I'm getting the spark of light here on the shoulder. It's kind of like the kiss of the sun. And so, I mean, it's definitely summertime. There may be some desire to be out in the sun, unless you're here in Texas where the sun is dogged and we're all running away from it. But it does feel like you're ready to take some action. You're ready to get things done this week, Leo. It's like, okay, or you may have accomplished something. You may have already done something. You're like, yes, finally I did that. Like there's breaking through an impasse is what I'm getting for the Leos, like something that's held you back. You're pushing through that this week. It's no longer holding you back. So are these internal chains that you've placed upon yourself? Have you broken through a negative habit or behavior, or do you need to? Is that what you need to break through? Is it an internal chain that's binding you? Has someone in your life or world said, no, you can't do that? And you're like, F that, I'm going to do it anyway because this feels right for me. Again, this is inspired. The rebel is not just being rebellious to say F you. The rebel's going after what's right. So this is like, this feels right for me. I'm going to go for this. So there's a lot of powerful energy this week of forward motion, breaking through limitations, and inspired action coming in for the Leos this week. All right, we'll go to the Virgos, earth sign that's mutable, which means you can be flexible. You can change it. Maybe one day you want this, the next day you do want the other thing. Ruled by Mercury. One of the downsides of Mercury is being caught up in that head. Virgos are attention to detail. They can get things organized. They can usually be really good artists or engineers because they see everything. They don't miss anything. They can often be the one in the back room observing what everyone else in the room is doing. One of the downsides of Virgo can be perfectionism, because they can look at every detail. You can try to be too perfect, or feeling like you've got this degree of perfection you're trying to achieve. So you want to be kind to yourself and okay if you don't measure up to that perfect mark. Hardworking, Virgos love to help other people, love to be of service to others in general. They're the helpers. Again, you can put other people's needs before your own. And so you want to watch, making sure you're balanced, taking care of yourself versus taking care of others. A lot of Virgos end up as healers. And they can talk. They can spend all day talking, and they can make a plan and talk about it. And it may take them forever to actually take action. Like, just like, oh, I could do this, I could do that, I could do this, I could do that. Oh, and I could do, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? What do you know, like they can just get, a spin around in a wheel in your head instead of actually taking action. But Virgos do what they say they're going to do. Like if Virgos say, I'll do that for you, they'll do it. The comparison card is showing up. Comparing your life with someone else's. This oak tree and the bamboo are unique and different. Compare and contrast, but you don't need to. So there may be something about your life that you're comparing to someone else. You're better than, worse than, fatter than, thinner than, whatever, externals. But also, to me, the only thing you should be comparing yourself to is how you were yesterday. You to you. Like, am I improving? Am I making daily progress? Persistent daily effort is good enough. Like, whose expectations are you trying to fill? Your own, hopefully, and nobody else's. And it feels like I'm just kidding, that it could be rough right now. Like, it's just, you're maybe between two places. Like it feels like you could be in a transitional place. Like neither one of these are really fitting. I'm getting, it's like maybe like your destination is some point beyond the bamboo and the oak tree. Maybe the pine tree is your destination. Like there's something else. I get there's something else. Like what it feels like you maybe be trying to figure out between two choices, and maybe open up to the that there could be a third choice, another alternative. Something else could come in this week where you're being shown a new way of looking at something, a new path, a new trajectory, a new possibility is what I'm getting. You also may be sort of just on vacation mode, and it feels just like you feel distracted this week, like hard to focus too. Like, what do I focus on? I don't know. And just kind of feel like you're losing your energy, like dissipating. So it feels like gathering up your energy to yourself, like doing meditation, doing prayer, chanting, like getting your energy honed up, and then listening to intuition in terms of the next right step and just persistent effort. And you might need to write and journal some things out this week to get some clarity about what's coming next. The number 5 is coming up with this card, and 5 can be caught up in your head, which you know so well. Also, I'm getting like the comparison. There's pair in there. There's a pair. So it could be working with someone else, could be your partner or a friend, where you're trying to work together and you're putting together two different elements, two different ideas that don't quite match. And how can you create space for both people to get their needs met is another thing that may be going on this week for the Virgos. All right, Libras, cardinal air. So initiating energy of an air sign. Libra's the scales, balancing back and forth and back and forth. They want fairness and justice. They're all about relationships. They want everyone to vibe well together. And Libras can be codependents because they're putting relationships before everything else. Doesn't mean they will. Libras also are drawn to the field of law, justice and fairness, and fighting, advocating for rights. They want to grab the picket sign and go protest. Again, it's initiating sparks. So you can, powerful, like if you think of air at its most powerful and can get things started, that's the Libra energy. It's like it can be a breath of fresh air for other people too. Libra is ruled by Venus, and so Libras usually sun, moon, or rising will have some sort of beauty energy to them. Like most people will feel, oh, they're beautiful or they're handsome. There's a beauty, a Venusian energy usually that Libras carry, but they can be indecisive. They can spend forever going back and forth. Maybe this, maybe that, maybe this, maybe that. They can really can paralyze themselves with indecision and not knowing which way to choose, right? So the way through is, where is the intuition leading you? Where's the intuition guiding you? Does this feel right? Drawn the friendliness card. This can be a new friend, a new connection, really relying on someone to be there for you. Like these trees are rooted and grounded, different colors. They're there supporting each other, blending together. So it could be collaborative work that you're doing with someone else, a project at work. It could be a friend that you decide you're going to do something together with. You can do an art project, band, music, getting together with someone else to do something that feels really beautiful, make the world a more beautiful place. Friendliness card is like having friends be a paramount energy this week. Knowing that you have most Libras have a lot of friends just because you're into relationships. So it's like, so this is like knowing who your friends are versus who your associates are, who are your real friends, like really wanting to connect with people who are really there for you. You may be really there for the other people as well. Like you may be the good friend to someone else this week. Other people may be that good friend to you. You may be really wanting to spend time with good friends this week. And there could be a particular friendship or relationship. Even like romantic relationships that are really beautiful friendships are the strongest ones too. So this could be a new friend coming in, or just a dear friend that you get to spend time with or connect with. But friendship is super important this week. And I'm also getting this creative energy of like being creative and being open for being inspired. You may want to write a song or create a new piece of artwork this week. It's definitely a collaborative energy. If you're creating art or music, I feel like you're doing it for or with others this week. The number two together. That's what I get for the Libras. We go to the Scorpios. Fixed water is the Scorpios, the deep, dark waters. Scorpios are some of the deepest. People are afraid of Scorpios because they have the stinger, right? The scorpion. So the Scorpio has 3 different signs. The scorpion, which is, the lower level of the scorpion that hides under rocks and will sting you if you get too close. Then there is the Phoenix rising, which is all about death and transformation, like changing deeply from the inside out, deeply emotional. Keeping it to themselves, though, again, the Scorpio like to go under the rock, but the Phoenix is bringing it out to transform it. And then the third is the Eagle, which is being able to see from a higher perspective, get a spiritual insight, be able to step away and get an observational view of your life. So these are evolution. The more spiritually conscious and evolved, if you're doing your inner work, then you can have that ability to access the Eagle perspective and be the Scorpio that can, oh, I can see what you need. Oh, I can see what I need. If you're a low level Scorpio and haven't done your work, or someone in your life is, then you may still be hiding under rocks, being afraid of really getting out there and like wanting to just stay to yourself. Scorpios are the best secret keepers, meaning they can keep secrets that you don't know about. But if you want to tell a Scorpio a secret and say, please don't tell anybody, they will often take it to their grave and you can't pry it out of them. They'll hold your secrets. Very psychic, usually. Scorpios are very psychic. The other thing I'll say as a water sign, is so important to keep your energy flowing, because what happens to water that doesn't move, if it starts pooling to stagnating, it becomes stank real quick. So Scorpios really need to keep their energy flowing to feel good. Otherwise, they can get depressed and that their intensive energy can back up on them really quickly. All right, I've drawn the adventure card for the Scorpio, which means something new is opening up for you, some new adventure. You follow your intuition into the rainbow light. You may not know what in fact, you don't know what the whole big picture is going to look like. You're not sure where you're headed. This is about following your intuition on a daily basis into where you feel guided to do, and that there's something new opening up for you. This could be new relationship opening up. It could be new career potential opening up. It could be an opportunity that's showing up in some way. You could be moving in a way spiritually in your spiritual community into a new direction. You could be drawn to a new spiritual practice. New creative efforts. There's a little child here too. So it's also like, what makes your inner child happy? What did you want to be and do when you were a small child? Are you doing it? Are you bringing into your life the things that you really love and enjoy? Are you pursuing your heart's desires, is what I'm getting to ask yourself. Have you healed your childhood wounds? Again, with Chiron going retrograde this week, you could have something triggered from childhood. Are you taking that all the way through? When you notice that you get triggered, are you shifting it? It feels like an opportunity and opening up. This could be a big healing, a healing opportunity that's opening up too. You may be a healer as well. A lot of Scorpios are. Be psychic channel. You may get some insights and downloads for others too this week. You could find yourself channeling a lot this week. Is there anything else I get? No. Exciting. Something new is opening up for you guys this week, Scorpios. Follow your intuition straight into it. All right, now we go to the Sages. Mutable fire. Fire signs, flexible. Sages rule the 9th house, which is foreign travel, learning everything. Sages can think they know it all. Another thing is open mouth and insert foot is a Sag thing. Sages also can be the least monogamous of all the signs because they love everyone. You know, the fire sign is social and they can really love everyone. Again, looking at what else you have in your chart can temper or exacerbate that, make it larger or dim those qualities down. But they often are teachers, spiritual leaders, and they're flexible, mutable. They like things to change too. They can get bored easily as well. All the mutable signs can get bored easily. All right, I've got the inner voice card for the Sages. This is about listening to and following your own inner voice. That there's some strong, powerful messages being downloaded straight to you this week. I also see this card, see the two dolphins that are like in swimming here. You may be picking up on other people really strongly this week. Someone can come across your radar. You may be thinking about someone, then they contact you. This is it feels very simpatico, like there's lovely energy. It feels like you're in rhythm and a flow. The dolphins, right? They're flowing through the water. So this feels like a week where you can like navigate all the curveballs that might be thrown in by Uranus this week. And you're just like, okay, I'll swim, I'll be flexible, I'll move around that. All right, that's all right. I'll shift and change that. You guys are good at change, but I'm getting some really clear intuition, and your intuition being validated, like getting a hit, getting it confirmed right away, having a dream and then having that dream happen that same day. A really powerful week to meditate and pray and chant and tap into your higher self. It just feels like the volume is turned up on your psychic voice this week in a big way. Inner voice, loud, harmonious, your connection with other people. Other people may be coming to you for your insight and advice. You may find yourself channeling to others, just the right things coming out of your mouth to other people where they're going, oh, that's exactly what I needed to hear. There's just a strong inner knowingness. And it may be nobody else validating it. You just know, you feel right. Like, no, this is what I feel very clearly. There's a clear quartz crystal here. You may want to pick up and work with crystals. There's also the beautiful energy of the water. So, being in the pool, being at the lake, on the boat, being at the ocean, soaking in the tub, drinking lots of extra water just to keep the flow going. But it feels like it's a lovely, very insightful week for the Sagittarius. Okay, we'll go to the Capricorns. Mutable earth sign. They like it changed up to, Capricorns are natural leaders. There's been more presidents of the United States that have been Capricorns than any other sign. So they're naturally the leaders. They can be bossy. They can think they know it all as well. Very hard-headed, being an earth sign, stubborn, but they'll work hard at whatever they do. They'll throw themselves completely into it, and usually do what they say they're going to do, unless it serves them to do something else, in which case they kind of can put themselves first. There can be some, not that they don't care about others, but they want to make sure their needs get met. That Capricorn, that goat. Hind's feet on high places come to mind. They can go where no man has gone before, not afraid. They can conquer fear. Fear doesn't usually get them, like fear of things in the world. They're more afraid of their own inner world, their own emotional state. Dealing with and reconciling and looking at their own inner feelings can be challenging. Again, these are general characteristics. Other things in your chart could shift that. I've drawn the adventure card, something new opening up for you. There's an inner child voice. There could be inner child voice coming in, something from your childhood coming through that you feel drawn to, something you want to pursue that's left over from childhood. There could be a new child coming into your life in some way, form or fashion, or a focus on children in your life. There's an opportunity maybe coming. Whatever it is, you may not know what the whole big picture is going to look like. You just know this feels right. I'm going to go into the rainbow. I'm going to go into this light. I'm going to take this next step. I don't know where it's going to lead, but this feels right today. All you have to do is get the download for this one day. What today feels right? What today do I feel guided to do? And just take that next right step. You're shifting things. You're changing things. You're trying to get to a new destination. There's you may not, like I said, know how to get from where you are to this destination that you want to get to. It's about daily following your inner voice. Adventure card could also mean you're on vacation and you're just off on exploring and doing something new you haven't done before. Could also be what the adventure card is about, being willing to try something new, a new path, a new self-discipline. It feels optimistic and joyful and happy, though. Whatever's going on, it feels exciting. There's an opportunity. There's something new, childlike energy, pursuing childhood dreams. that there's a beautiful, like the rainbow. It's like, it feels like there's a divinely enhanced energy for your week. It feels like spirit is helping you out, supporting you. You feel like, okay, this is the way I'm supposed to go. It's all roads are leading to this. So it feels like it's really, if you spend the time to tap in, that it should be clear which direction to go this week, what actions to take. And if you're not clear, stop and just, what next right step do I need to take? And then just do that next one. This card is not about figuring out the whole big picture. It's just figuring out the next step. That's all. You just take one step at a time, and then you're moving into a whole new trajectory. Something new is definitely unfolding in your life that feels exciting. Okay, we'll go to the Aquarians. Fixed or air. Unpredictable. Cannot predict what an Aquarian's going to do, and you can't tell them anything. They already know it. Talk to the hand. If they think you want them to do it a certain way, they're going to purposely do it a different way, just to change things up. And they get bored easily as well, because they're just always wanting to do something different. They can be the unique, starting something, be the first to do something as well, because they're the maverick. Sudden, unexpected, again, ruled by Uranus. So, and Uranus is the great awakener. It may knock things down and change things up. It always replaces it with something better. They can often be gift givers, love to give from the heart, but they don't want you to expect a gift from them. They want to surprise you with a gift. Don't expect anything of them. Give them the space to be free. They want to be that free air flowing. They can be spacey and leave their body because they're an air sign. You can space out. You could be talking to them and they've gone somewhere else. Very psychic, usually, the Aquarians. The no thingness card. This is a blank, clean slate, a new beginning, a blank canvas. You get to paint on it what you want. This is like you taking up the reins and you taking the control. You're about to start something new, is what it feels like for the Aquarians. What new project are you doing? Are you about to write a new song, paint a new painting, build a new building, start a new creative project, start a new habit, behavior? There's something new that feels divinely inspired to me. It's no thingness. Like it could be anything. It feels like waiting for that creative spark, the creative inspiration to hit, to decide what it is that you're going to be doing next. But there's like creativity feels like it's turned up full tilt boogie for you guys this week. Like this would be the week to write a song, write a screenplay, or at least work on one. You may not get it all finished. You may begin something new, or maybe you're literally painting. You could be painting your house even. Starting new relationships up this week too. This no thingness can be like, okay, stage is set for something or someone to come in. New beginnings feels very powerful this week. So this transformative energy could bring in an opportunity to start something or do something completely new. Feels very empowering. I'm just getting this creative thing so strong though, like writing. So some of you that are wanting to write, whatever you want to write, like this is the week, I think it could just pour out. So creating the framework, like Aquarians can be not so great at self-discipline. So this would be the week, okay, I'm going to set aside 15 minutes every day to write. That kind of thing would be really great. I'm going to set up the easel and the canvas and decide which colors, pull the colors out that I want to start, that kind of thing. Just set the stage, as it were. And that could be literal as well. Okay. And then we go to the Pisces. So this is mutable water. Can be changing, like, I don't know, maybe one day they feel this way, the next day they feel this way. It's a slippery fish moving two different directions. The one fish is like spiritual, psychic, all vibing, and the lower fish is like going in the lower emotional state, illusion, delusion, addiction, getting caught up in stuff of this planet, the 3D world. and can switch fish and go from highly spiritual to be caught up in the world in the same day. Because everything's always changing for the Pisces. Super sensitive, often ends up, Pisces, one of the code names for Pisces is wounded healer. So you can often have a very traumatic or difficult childhood that sets you up, wakes you up earlier than most people, so that you get involved in being a healer or being on a healing path or getting on a spiritual path at an earlier age. You're the last sign of the zodiac, so you can end up being that wise sage for others a lot of the times with your own inner wisdom. Even Pisces that are children can be really super wise and spiritual. Birds making a lot of noise outside. I've got the stress card coming up for you guys this week. So it feels like you're dealing with life stressors, like this little monkey here trying to poke. So it's so critical that you guys ground and plug into your higher self and not be too batted about by this 3D world, because it just feels like curveballs can be hitting you guys left and right and can feel personal. It doesn't feel like it actually is personal. You could be translating it to be personal. Oh, my car breaks down, or that person didn't return my call, or whatever. It can be, you could feel, Pisces can also feel turned inside out and feel extra sensitive and being empath. Make sure you wring yourself out, like soaking up everybody else's energy. Like do something to clear the frenetic energy. You mean to get in water just to literally physically clear your energy out. You may be the week to pull out the sage or the dragon's blood, light the candles that help clear your energy. I feel like you're letting too much busyness and like too much going off half-cocked. And if you ground yourself first and do the spiritual time and even just breath work, you can like feel calmer and be clear about decision making, because it feels like you're just spinning, not making forward progress, and got little things coming in and like taking little bites out of you is what it feels like could happen. Or like I said, this little monkey, someone just sitting there poking at you. You focus on the light, get off the ball. Like, so you may have to change something, like, dude, step down off the ball. It won't be so difficult when you're standing on solid ground. Juggling too many things at once, like writing everything down that you're tossing around in your brain so that you're clear about what's important right now. There's 3 legs here on this clown. So it's like, again, it just feels like hard to get your feet up underneath you. Like it may need grounding. I feel like you need grounding this week to just be on the ground. You need to literally walk out with bare feet on the earth just to ground yourself if you're feeling frenetic and stressed out, because stress card, that's self-explanatory. We all go through periods of stress. Whatever's going on this week could be extra stressful. Ground yourself, center yourself, ask yourself, what right now do I need to do? Do I need to react to this? Is there some action I need to take according to what this stuff that's going on in my environment? Or can I just step away from it? If I do need to take action, what action needs to be taken? What's the one step I need to take one at a time? Like, just break it down. If you said yes to too many people, say no. Cancel the events you said you would go to, and like, you may need downtime by yourself to defrag, right? You could get too frenetic this week. So watch the energy of like spinning higher. Again, you can pick up on the energies of what's going on in the planet and just like, so ground this week for the Pisces. That's what I get for the Pisces. Okay, that's all 12 signs. If you've watched this all the way through, thank you very much for your long attention. And let me know if I can be of service or help you this week. Peace.